Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Pastor Barry. Thank you for joining me this morning for Monday Morning Quarterback. Monday Morning Quarterback is my post-service analysis, input, reflection based on what took place in the worship service yesterday. And so thank you guys for coming on. Sorry, I'm a little late. So there was a problem with the Zoom for whatever reason. It wasn't coming up. So that's why it's about 5 minutes late. Also, to let you know, Reverend Rochelle's not feeling good today. That's why she was not on for the devotion on the fast this morning. So please keep her in prayer. So Monday Morning Quarterback. Yesterday was one of those days where I kind of struggled in the preaching moment for whatever reason, still getting my feel of Ward, there's days like that. And so I struggled yesterday in the preaching moment on my reading my manuscript. And even processing and moving through the text was a struggle for me. But whatever, God is glorified regardless. And so yesterday, the sermon title was Unremembered Peace. And I kind of used two texts, which is something that's probably what messed me up. I don't like using two texts. So use the text from Isaiah 26:3. You keep him in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on him because you trust in him. And then I used the text in Mark chapter 4:36-41 with Jesus and the disciples in the storm. And so my moves through the text was peace. There's a position of peace. There's a focus of peace, and then the result of peace. And so I really wanted, what I missed yesterday was really giving clear examples of peace. That's really what I missed yesterday. And so peace, the Old Testament or Hebrew translation, one of them is shalom. You'll see, I know when I send emails, oftentimes I'll sign, as people say sincerely or best wishes, I usually put shalom, SHALOM, and it means to be in harmony with God. It means it's based on the fact that there's a relationship between humanity and God, and because of that, there's complete harmony. And we know, as we strive for shalom or peace, that all of our needs will be met. That's why there is peace, because we know that God will provide our needs in the midst of storms. And we have to move past this space where we think that everything should always be okay. And that's a very difficult pill to swallow in life, because if you lived long enough, you know that trials and trouble and trauma happen. Trauma is kind of the effects of the trial. Trauma is what I live with based on what happened. And even though events may be over, I still have trauma based on it. Like my son being sick, he's better, he's getting better, but I still carry trauma based on what happened to him and what is happening to him. So trauma is something that we live with. But in the midst of trauma, trials, and trouble, we can have peace based on the harmony and the relationship we have with God. Okay. And so what shalom, what peace is, it's the assurance. Peace is the assurance of wholeness and health, the absence of conflict and strife within our soul. That's what peace is. Because I'm in position, because I'm in a right relationship, I don't have any conflict. I don't have any insecurities of who I belong to. So I'm at peace. I'm at peace. And I should have pulled up that text in Ephesians that talks about the peace that we have through Jesus Christ. I think it's in chapter 2, I believe verse 14. I'm not sure. But that's what peace is. It's the wholeness, the absence of conflict and strife within my soul because of the harmony and the relationship that I have with Christ. And peace is also the assurance of deliverance through hardships. Okay. When I'm in a storm, peace lets me know that I will be delivered. Okay. I may not be delivered today. I may be traveling through this storm for a while, but I am at peace because of the harmony I have with God, and I know that I will be delivered. Okay. That's why we can go through sickness, because we have peace and assurance that God will deliver us. That's why we can go through bouts of unemployment and insecurity, because I am assured that God will deliver me through it. Okay. That's why in my imagination, I like to refer to Daniel in the lion's den, that Daniel had peace because of his relationship and harmony he had with God, where he went against the statutes, the government, saying, no, I'm going to pray anyway. I don't care what you guys say. I am at peace with my relationship with God, and I am going to continue. As a matter of fact, I'm going to open up the window and I'm going to pray like I always do, because he was assured that even though he knew he would end up in the lion's den, he had peace knowing that God would deliver him from the lion's den. My phone is ringing. I don't know who that is. Okay. I'll have to call that person back. Okay. Okay. So that's what peace is that I know that God's going to deliver me. And then peace also is the restful and quiet contentment and fulfillment that God gives. That is why we can hold our composure in the midst of chaos, because God gives that peace to us. Okay. And it's funny, you have to believe you have it. You have to, the thing about peace is that you have to have the assurance and the confidence that you are living in peace in order to receive it. Okay. Because the circumstances may not change, because remember, peace is not tied to circumstances. Peace is tied to our relationship with God. So we must have confidence that, A, God gives me peace because of my position in Christ. And my focus of peace is Christ. And then that's where I got my third point. The result is just trusting that you will be delivered, trusting that the storm will pass, trusting that God will open the door. And because of that, I can live with peace and not become rattled by the outside circumstances. So I'm not even sure if I made that clear, but that's how that's what I wanted to go into that I missed yesterday, is that really kind of breaking down what peace looks like. Okay, peace is that harmony, that wholeness of the soul, that we are in harmony with God, Peace is assurance that no matter what the storm is, I have the confidence, I have the assurance that God's going to deliver me. Okay. You have to be in something for God to deliver you. Okay. God can't deliver you unless you're in something. And that is how God lets us know who he is. God continues to reveal God's self to us through trials. Okay. I would not know that God is a healer if I was never sick. I would not know that God was a provider if I was never in need. So God reveals God's self to us through trials, through tribulations, and provides us peace. Okay. And so what did I say? I said it was there's assurance of deliverance, and can't remember the third thing I said, but that's kind of what peace looks like. That's kind of what peace looks like. And so wrestle with it, wrestle with that for the week. As yesterday was the second Sunday of Advent and the focus was peace. We have peace through Jesus Christ. He gives us that. He gives us that. So we have to receive it. That text in Hebrews, when it talks about we are saved through grace and we are reconciled with God, something like that. And then there's peace. It gives the illustration, or it gives the meaning that it's something you must grasp. Like you have to, like Reverend Rochelle's sermon a couple of weeks ago, to cling to it. We have to hold on to that peace. And we hold on to that peace by the position, by the focus, and by trusting. So receive the peace that God has for you, because it's within reach. The disciples were in the boat. Jesus was right there. Jesus was present with them. Peace was present with them, but they were focusing on external circumstances instead of focusing on Christ, because Christ was at rest. Christ was peaceful. Christ was content. And because of that, we should have been, or the disciples should have been, because Jesus was convinced and assured that he would be delivered from the storm. He wasn't even worried about it. He was going to sleep right through it if they did not wake him up, he would have slept through the storm. Okay. So let us have the assurance of peace that we can get through our trials because we are in complete harmony with Christ, with God through Christ. And with that, we know that God will deliver us. And so because of that, we are at peace. All right. I've been through it all. I'm a little transparent, not too transparent. I mean, I've been through job reductions. I've been through layoffs. I've been through sickness. I've been through death of loved ones, sickness of my child. I've been through marital problems. I've been through a lot, and God has delivered me from it all. Amen. And so that's our Monday morning quarterback. I'm gonna go back to really watching my first take for the day while I take care of some things here at the office. But I'm glad you tuned in to Monday morning quarterback. We will be here tomorrow morning at 6:15 a.m. for prayer. On Tuesday morning, 6:15 a.m. for prayer. Wednesday, we will have Bible study, the same platform you're on, Zoom, Facebook, YouTube, in person, 6:15 p.m. Wednesday. We're still in 1 John. Those of you who sent emails and text regarding receiving the outline for Bible study, I did receive them. I have a platform where I will probably email that information to you by tomorrow. By tomorrow, you'll have that so you can kind of review it. I think we started in 1 John last week, and we will start at verse 5 of 1 John Wednesday. So you can begin reading it and prepare yourself for what God has in store for us. All right. Hope you're well. Be safe. COVID numbers in LA County is going up a little bit. So be safe, take care of yourselves, wear your mask when you're in public, when you go to the store, all of that stuff. So may God bless you and keep you. And my prayer is that God will give you peace. I know God will give you peace if you are in position, you focus, and you embrace the results, but grasp the peace that God has for you, knowing that God will deliver you. God bless you.